Hey guys, this is Spooky Noodles, and I'm here with another book review. Yes, I have come to you with a book review, and technically it's an audio book review slash book review because I'm going to talk a little bit about the audiobook that I did not finish. I may finish it, I'm not sure, but we're going to talk about Rick Hautala's Little Brothers. I wanted just to make a review just for Little Brothers, and then maybe I'll do an audiobook review, or not an audiobook review, but a review of Unsigahunk as a whole, as that's the audiobook that I listened to. But I wanted to do a separate review for Little Brothers itself. Let me read the back for you guys, and then we'll talk a little bit about it, shall we? Alright. Main Nightmare. It has been 5 years since Kip Howard saw his mother killed horribly by a blur of little brown things, which is weird because right here it's a blue thing, but maybe that's because of the shadow of the night or something like that. I don't know, but that's the little brown thing. 5 years of nightmares and a terror of dark places. 5 years of struggling to overcome what must have been just his imagination. But the Unsigahunk, the Indian word for little brothers, are no one's imagination. Hideous forest creatures who feed every 5 years on human flesh. The little brothers are about to emerge from the underground once again. Only this time, there will be no escape for the young boy who witnessed their feast, or their last feast. Little Brothers! Big, bold. So what did I feel about, how did I feel about this book? You may ask. This book made me want to go out and buy more Hautala books. And then when I learned he died, I was crushed. Because this dude can write. He did a wonderful job writing this story. It reminded me of a short story I tried to write a long time ago called Melonheads. And that is a Michigan myth, where basically this insane asylum in the woods had a bunch of people who had water on the brain type of syndrome, and their heads kind of grew big, and they called them melonheads, and then they released them into the forest where they fed on hikers and stuff like that. And I made a short story about the Melonheads, and it was a lot like Little Brothers, except I did not write this much. This book is long, guys, and the audiobook was the audiobook includes 7 short stories, which is like the Little Brothers mythos. This book in itself is 541 pages. And I got a great condition book. The spine's not broken at all. I got this from Tony Bacon, and wow, it's just a great looking book. But anyways, Little Brothers follows Kip. It follows a little bit of his dad, who what was his name? I can't remember his dad's name, but his dad was a lawyer. Then his brother Marty. Then you had Woody, who is like Marty's future. Woody was an asshole, and I didn't understand the point of him until the end. Marty was kind of an asshole too. I wish they made Marty's character a little bit more, because he had a little bit to do with the story. So I wish they broadened Marty's character a little bit. But other than that, the characters were all amazing. I started this book like in February when I was raking my brother's backyard, and I was helping out around his house, and I started it, and I enjoyed it all the way through. I listened to it when I was going to sleep. I was listening to it on my walks, which is where I mostly listen to it, and it was overall an amazing read or listening. And Rick Hautala's writing is just great. I know I say that a lot about a lot of authors, but this guy can write. I bought 4 other books by him: Ghostlight, Dark Silence, bed bugs, and there's a big one I'm missing. Nightstone. So I'm going to read more Rick Hautala for sure. The only problem I have with him is his books are chunkers. They're big books, and lately I'm not gonna say I'm new to reading, because 2 years isn't really new, but I'm still kind of a newish reader. So my ability to pay attention, because of my ADHD, I have a hard time keeping up with a book that's this long. And that's when audiobooks come in. So when I want to read or listen to a longer book, like if I want to take in a longer book, I go to audiobooks, because I can do two things at once, like I'm able to listen to it while like writing or while doing other things, like walking, and it's just another way of me being able to take in people's work. Like I read, or not read, but listened to The Ruins by Scott Smith, a book I'd probably never be able to get through if I actually read it. And I found the book amazing. It was amazing. I loved it. The fact that he only has 2 books, Scott Smith, is amazing. He has the Ruins and then the Simple Plan, which I have a Simple Plan, but I haven't. It sounds too much like a book I already read, which is called Flashpoint, which was written in like 1979 or something like that. And Flashpoint was amazing, by the way. It wasn't really a horror book, but it had horror elements to it. But that's besides the point. We're talking about Rick Hautala here. What am I doing? Rick Hautala, my favorite scenes. One of my favorite scenes is when Kip is trying to run away. And I don't know if that's a spoiler or not, but he runs away. Well, he tries to run away, or maybe he does run away. I don't want to spoil it for you, but I am spoiling it for you. But he tries to run away, and he comes across his brother, and his brother gets injured, and he has to help him. And I like that scene. It showed like the love between the brothers and the hate between the brothers. The connection between the brothers was confusing at times. Like I was like, do these guys love each other, or do they just hate each other? Because like my brother, I have a different relationship with my siblings than the brother in this story has with his brother. So I don't know. I was having a little bit of trouble trying to I'm like, do they love each other or do they hate each other? And I think my consensus is they hate each other. It was a good story. I loved what's his name? The Native American guy. Man, I'm not gonna remember his name. I hate forgetting names. I don't know. But you know who I'm talking about if you read the book. He was a big part of the book, and I liked him a lot. Woody was like, I thought there would be like, there was this whole side story with Woody, and it never really connected with the story at all until the very end. And even then, it felt forced. So the Woody thing was almost not necessary at all. But overall, I enjoyed this story. It was really good, really well written. Talking about scenes, it was such a long audiobook that I barely remember what happened in the beginning of the book. But I have to say, the cave scene with Kip and the Native American guy, I can't remember his name for the life of me, so I'm just going to call him the Native American guy for right now. That scene was great. I thought something was going to happen, and it kind of did happen, but it didn't happen at the same time. You'd have to read it to understand what I'm talking about. But that cave scene was a fantastic scene. I love the monsters. Like, the thing is, the monsters are like small. They're not big at all. They're just small little things, but there's bunches of them, and they got sharp claws and teeth and talons, they say. Not claws, talons. And they're able to rip through people with ease. And yeah, it was an excellent book, and the way it ends is not vague, but well, it's good. I like the ending. And there's not much more to talk about other than you guys should really read this book or listen to this book, because Unsigahunk is an audiobook which is not that expensive, and it comes with 7 short stories that have to do with the little brothers. I'm on the second short story in the audiobook. After you get past the novel, or not past the novel, that sounds like it's a chore, but once you get through the novel, it will start the 7 short stories, which are not short at all because you still have 4 hours left in the audiobook. So there's 7 short stories, and yeah, I got done with the first one, which is just a little lore. It's just talking about like how the Unsigahunk were created, and then the second story so far is about like in 1970 something 9, I'm guessing, is when they're like constructing these roads and bulldozing through these hills that the Unsigahunk live in. And yeah, it's about 2 boys, and he happens upon this like Unsigahunk arm. So I'm not sure about excuse me, the short stories. I'm like, so far I'm 50-50 with the short stories. I did not like the first lore story. It was cool in a sense, but it really kind of bored me. And then the second one, I'm not really that excited for either. But I will continue listening to it because Rick Hautala is an amazing writer, and this is an amazing book. Go check this book out at a library. Find it at a Salvation Army, or just go to your favorite bookstore and look for it. Or if you can, buy it online, because Little Brothers by Rick Hautala is an amazing book. I enjoyed it a lot, and I wish I read it, because I would have been able to take more in if I read it, because audiobooks, I don't take as much information in as I would reading it. So this is definitely a book I want to reread in the future. And luckily I have this great conditioned book, because I'm going to read this again later on in life, when I want to, because Rick Hautala is an amazing writer, and I have more of his work. Like I said, Nightstone, Dark Silence, Bedbugs, which is a short story collection, and what was the third or fourth one? Dark Silence, Nightstone, Bedbugs, and then, well, anyways, Ghostlight, that's it, Ghostlight, sorry. That was gonna bother me, so I had to do it, sorry guys. But anyways, Little Brothers is a book you guys should check out. I thoroughly enjoyed it. That is a cool cover, by the way. Unsigahunk are brown, so I don't know why he's blue. It has to be because it's midnight and it's just a shadow over him or something like that, because they're brown. So, but I enjoyed this book a lot. This book was great. I really think you guys should read it if you have a chance. Now, it's not like Down on the Farm where, I mean, I gave this book 4 stars, but I didn't say that yet, had I? But Down on the Farm was good, but it's not for everybody. This book, I think, can be for everybody. Rick Hautala is just an amazing writer, and Kip is a fun character to follow. And his dad is too, but Marty not so much, and Woody not so much, and the Native American guy, who I'm forgetting his name, he was really cool too. So, yeah, good characters, good story, and yeah, it was fun. It was a lot of fun. I definitely recommend it, and yeah, that's all I have to say about it. I don't know why my phone's there. I hope you guys have a good day. Hope you have a spooky night, and this has been a Little Brothers review. I'll catch you in the next video. Bye, guys.
Now I am become death, the destroyer of